putting this live up tonight in precedence to Thinning Out Nonsense Live being held at 9. Um, Respect is always given when it comes to awareness. I will always give respect to awareness, and I do not want. We're doing it 2 hours before he goes live, because that way then I can relax in bed and watch his live. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. Been a busy day today. Thinning Out Nonsense is at 9, so uh, always give respect to him. It's a good individual, good awareness page. If you don't follow him, please do follow him. So, like I said, it's been a very extremely busy day today. And some of you may have seen me momentarily in a flash in a couple of individuals' lives. Now, one thing that I will say, and I did this morning, but you'll find out who Thinning Out Nonsense is. Good guy. Um, is I'm This morning, it was that moment that I was able to turn around. Thank you for the gifts. Not necessary, but I appreciate you all. It was at that moment this morning that I was able to take hold to somebody that was live this morning, Detroit Nike. But we're going to get to him later. But one thing, I tried it. I got to be honest with you, it's not me. It's not my forte. Live streaming another beggar or another individual. I am going to continue to keep doing it OG way, the old school way. You get more of a sense of getting and collecting the information more. But on the other hand, when you live stream somebody, it's happening in real time. So it is what it is. So, but getting into it. So, an individual this afternoon decided to go live. And I've been seeing him for a hot minute, been watching him in the background for a little bit. Um, don't know what facility it may have been. Hopefully, it was one that got him well. It was a 5-day facility in Denver, Colorado. And in the process, he was live talking to his supporters and followers. He stated that he needed a bus ticket. And I turned around, and he knows exactly who I am because he turned around and decided not to turn around and listen to advice and heed advice, which I always find interesting when it comes to scammers and beggars. There you go. This is him out on the streets today. Let's see if I get a better picture. Nope. That one's a good one. Yes, he did get money for his bus ticket, and he also got money for his phone service. Which, yeah, and now he wanted water and broccoli for his birthday. But he needed bus ticket. So, you all know how good I am and what I do and how I do it, and I always come with receipts. I will never let anybody down when it comes to receipts unless I can't find them. Then that's me fault. Oh, gee, look at that, ladies and gentlemen. That is an updated version of Greyhound offering tickets for homeless at no cost. No, I did not get Wally in the picture. Oh, and is that a phone number that's in there? That is a phone number, 1-800-Greyhound. You can get a free ticket to go from where you were in Denver, Colorado to Arizona at no cost to your supporters and followers and enablers. Yes, I agree, Kathy. However, facts are facts. I'm pointing them out here once and for all. You want to keep giving him your money? You can go right ahead, but boy, you got bamboozled there. He could have literally gotten a free ticket for a Greyhound bus ticket. Anywhere. And that's the kicker. This is the one thing I noticed. Almost anywhere in the United States. Now, in his live this afternoon or earlier this evening, he was talking about next year going to Alaska. Now, Alaska is not his home. So don't try to get free tickets with Greyhound to go up to Alaska because it won't work. Yes, and I understand that he got his phone bill paid right afterwards. But you know what was interesting about that whole situation? Hold on. There you go. Oh, nope, that's the wrong one. Go figure. No. Tell me I got the wrong feed, the wrong picture. Well, I have it. If anybody needs it, I can do it. But if you look down in the chat, I literally put 1-800-Greyhound gives free tickets. He didn't want to hear that. He didn't want to hear anything in reference to anything free. He didn't want to take any offer. And you know what he did? Guess what he did? You're right. He blocked me. We're talking about Tristan Pizza. Individual who decided to completely ignore any kind of assistance and help that I could have given it to him for free. Free tickets. Free transportation. He didn't want it. And one of the hubs is in Denver. Now he's going to get to his hometown or where he lives, apparently in Arizona, by 8:02 tomorrow. Maybe he would have had to have waited a day, but nonetheless, he could have gotten free tickets. And that goes for anybody wishing and willing and wanting that is unable to pay for anything. Now, I'm sure there's some steps that you got to go through, but nonetheless, the tickets are free. You saw it. I put it up on the screen, and I'll put it back up when we go to finish out Tristan. But then he sat there and made a video and referenced him asking money for his cell phone bill, making people feel sorry for him because he may not have cell phone capabilities come October. Well, I'm sorry, Tristan. That's a you problem. You have no job. You have no financial backing. But he did let go one thing. And let me change the picture back up so you can see what chat's saying and see what everybody's saying. One thing that he did make mention, he does have, he does have a payee. So, a payee is, I'm sorry about the jump scare. A payee will pay out your bills or give you an allotted amount of money. So if you have a payee, why are you on TikTok constantly begging knowing that you have a payee? His payee apparently was supposed to get him tickets or a ticket for a bus. However, they had a small verbal tiff and the payee backed out, is what he exactly said in his live today. And yes, I do have screen recordings because I'm not afraid to get screen recordings. Welcome in, everybody. Tap the screen, like the live. That's all I ask. That's it. Let's get the likes up there. Yes, he does. He has stated that he has mental issues. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna hide it. He openly admitted it. But when it comes to an individual like that, I don't talk on his mental issues. I only want to see the best for him. He says that he can't work. I call bullshit. But here's the thing, he can't work because he's constantly moving around and traveling. So henceforth the reason why he can't work, or he won't work, because he's never in a place too long. So that being said, that's exactly why he's on here begging, because he had that tiff with his payee. And then the biggest thing is too, he goes right for the graciousness of others to turn around and get his money. And I noticed that he started to, and he has been, individually picking out females in his chat that appease him. Yes. So, that being said, that's why he's doing it. And is his travels necessary? No, they're not. Oh, is that what it is? He owes the payee money. Okay. Well, and that may be the reason, allegedly, that he got into a tiff, is because the payee didn't want to turn around and give him any more money. But that's the thing, is that you're going beyond your means. Now, he was on the streets today in Denver, and he turned around and, oh, wow. He turned around and stated that he wanted water. A passerby was kind enough, with the gracious of God, to give him a bottle of water. And he thanked him, which, okay, I can understand that, because you're appreciative of what somebody else gave you. But then, without skipping a beat, he turned around and sat there and said, anybody that's got less than 100 followers, block them. Block them. Block them. Why? Somebody may be coming into your live that's new and doesn't know how to get followers or can't get followers, but yet you're going to sit there and block them. I'm sorry, that just doesn't make sense. Welcome into the live, everyone. Welcome in. Brand new. Oh, sorry, can't see the chat. Brand new adventures is basically what the live is called. So that being said, he turned around and Billy Allen said, get a life, as he asked for money. This is from his live. He basically told me to get a life when I turned around and offered him free tickets for a bus. And all he had to do was make one phone call with the phone that he had to owe $60. And then somebody said, why did you mute all4one? Whoever that person was, I appreciate them for asking an honest question, but I have a feeling that person also got muted as well. Sadly. Because all they're doing is asking an honest question. See, here's the thing. If you go into somebody's live that's begging and scamming and you ask an honest question, everyone deserves an honest answer. And yes, I am going to change the screen back. And getting an honest answer. But you will never get an honest answer from a scammer and a beggar. Period. Never. Yeah. Oh, I got blocked at least 3 times. But in that 3 times, Tristan Peets is his name. Welcome in, everybody. But in that time period, yeah, it just like my journey. But in that time period with those 3 accounts, I was able to get out what I needed to get out to say to him, and to have his other chat. But now, nonetheless, he probably blocked me, and he did block me. So then my comment goes away. But somebody was able to catch it before anything else. So, look, you want to feel sympathy, you want to feel sorry, but yet you're willing to give up your own hard-earned money instead of giving the resources that matter for long term. Getting a free bus ticket, to me, that's a resource. That's long term. That way, then all you had to do was ask for, assistance on your cell phone bill. And I'm sure I could have came up with some help with resources for your cell phone bill. Thank you for the gifts. They're not necessary. Oh, what the heck? Hold on. Okay. I reset everything. Let's see if that works for you, Sassy. I don't know what a broccoli birthday is, but at least he's eating healthy. That's the most that I can suggest. And the thing is that somewhere along the line, he's got a payee. Well, obviously his payee is aware. Yeah, and that's the other thing, too. I saw that comment. He wanted money for a vape. He said it's not necessary, but he would like to have one. Look, I don't. You do what you want with your platform as long as you hold it correctly, would be the best way. I don't stream. I'm OG because that's what I've been doing for so long. Yeah, okay, that's what it is. All right. But that's what I've been doing for so long, and that's what I've gotten used to. Do I, would I say it's the greatest thing? No, I can't do it. I can't. I can't. I get too involved with what's going on in the other live than with what I'm putting out. And what I put out is truth and facts and receipts. Plain and simple. And you all know that because I have no problems bringing receipts. But anyways, that being said, but hey, I'll go one step further for you all. You probably saw her the other night. Let me put one more out. How about this lovely lady? Dr. Pepper Lover. Says that she sits in a... no Maggie News. I'm working on... Oh, it didn't work. I'm going to have to look into that, Sassy. She was live last night. Asking for $36 for groceries. No, you're okay. Asking for $36 for groceries. Actually, she originally asked for $40. She got it down to $36, but there was a lot of questions that were going around in her room, and she doesn't like questions. She doesn't like things. She goes by the name of Dr. Pepper Lover, a.k.a. The Gingerbread. At The Gingerbread. She was live last night. We were asking questions. There was a few of us in there. And look, if I'm asking an honest question, why did you mute your live? And you have us off camera. What was the reasoning behind that? And then you block me? No, things are being suspicious. That's all I'm saying. And when suspicion comes up, you have lots of questions. I mean, and then, people were asking about her and the smoking aspect and so forth and so on. And she was leading on and she became very defensive. And then she started blocking people. And she blocked me for asking a simple question. I'm like, okay, I got you now. And she says that she works at McDonald's. She doesn't, how you doing, Laura? She doesn't get enough hours. I wish I had her page. I forgot to take a screenshot of her page, so my apologies. But if you look up Dr. Pepper Lover, she's a great one to watch. And just sit back and watch. And she said that she hasn't been begging for a while. And I'm like, yeah, no, I don't think so. You've been begging for at least a month, easy, flat. And yet you're sitting here asking people for money. And yet you're sitting in a chair asking for money. Go get a second job. Being honest. Oh, I don't know if she's going to be Manu, honey. She might as well be. Yes. And that's the other thing that I was going to get down to was that she stated that her neighbor upstairs, who she mentioned as Chris, gave her a cigarette. Well, she had one cigarette. That was an awful lot of cigarettes that she was going through. I do believe she's in Section 8 housing or, some form of HUD housing. Because when she first went live, and this is what I was talking at her at is the gingerbread. It's the underscore gingerbread. Just look up Dr. Pepper Lover and you'll find her. But this one right here, she was the first one in a long time that I've seen start out in its infancy as a beggar and a scammer.
You're being streamed.
By who?
The person on the top.
But she was the first one that I can honestly say that I saw in its infancy start out as a beggar and a scammer, in my opinion. Because it first started out, she asked, yeah, and it first started out, she asked for money for groceries, and somebody in her life gave her $100. $100, folks. And she was so happy, she was teary eyed, but then she got the bug where she knew what she was doing. She knew how she was getting it. She knew she was getting the money. And then it started all over again. She would sit in a live, ask for money. Sit in another live, ask for more money, and so forth and so on. And it just continued. And that was the infancy I saw of somebody, yeah, because they found that it was too easy to make that quick buck off of TikTok. So, yeah, she's an interesting one. She'll give you every excuse in the book as to the reason why she doesn't have money. The one that I heard last night was that she doesn't have enough hours that she can work. So, but that's how it happens. You see it start in its infancy. She got that bite. Now she knows how to do it. And she even made mention to Maggie Foster. She made mention to a couple other individuals about begging. And she said about, well, why don't you go after those? No, no, because you're the one that's sitting there literally begging for money. Her at is, if you look up Dr. Pepper Lover, that's a quick way to find her. But her at is the gingerbread. Yes, and McDonald's. Yep, I know. And she works at McDonald's. Now, I am not going to go into depth. I'm not going to do any of that kind of stuff. All I know is that she works in the fast food industry and she states that she doesn't get enough hours. But here's the other thing, too. She leads on to let you know who she is. Because and look, we all know how dangerous this app can be. How you doing? Welcome into the live. We all know how, and Trolla, yes, I'm doing the live right now so that Adam can go live at 9. Not to overstep anybody's feet. But, if you do your research, you'll find out who she is. I did, real quick, fast, in a hurry. And I had no issues finding who she really is. All I can say is, on one of her pages, it says retired. Now, that's not to say that she's retired from a full-time job and working part-time at McDonald's, but nonetheless. But hold, please. Oh, good Lord. Sorry about that, folks. I had issues with my doggie. She didn't want to come up. So, yes, gingerbread, aka Dr. Pepper Lover. She's definitely on the radar scopes. So, now let's get into one person that you all want to know about. Sheena. Sorry it runs in and bleeds in with the chat, but I'll be honest with you. Yeah, I was over in the other woman's live gifting her. I have no problem doing that. I will support the other person. That woman in the other live that was battling Sheena, she was by far the most gracious, grateful individual because she literally showed it. She literally showed how grateful she was for getting gifts. And let me tell you something, she got a ton of gifts. But she was literally appreciative of what she was getting. Hi, Digital. How you doing, dear? And she didn't waver. She literally sat there and was literally giving hand hearts out, throwing out kisses, air kisses, and literally, and yet I couldn't understand what she was saying, but I was watching, and I did give her, at least 2 or 3 gifts. But that's what supportive is. Now, Sheena, on the other hand, literally was getting upset because she was not receiving any gifts, and she was getting upset, she was getting angry, and she was getting mad. And then she turned around and she said, well, they must be all broke by now. Well, I'm sorry, Sheena, I didn't realize that you knew what my financial status is, but I know exactly what yours is. Would you like to see what your financial status is on TikTok right now? Nope, that's Detroit. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, Sheena has received so far in a 411-day period $40,000, almost $41,000. Now, we averaged it out the other night, or last night, I guess it was, on average, and sorry you can't see it in the chat, but I figured receipts are needed, receipts you're going to get. She got that, she made that in gifts, which I can guarantee you she has exchanged over for money in her back pocket. But here's the catch. At least out of that, she is going to have to expend close to, right now, at least $12,000 for taxes. Easy. But here's the other question. When was the last time you ever saw her gift anybody else? Let me get this off so you can turn around and see the chat. Never. Oh, and by the way, for those you want to love math, I love math too. So her intake is about $100 a day out of that. Now, that may not be for taxes and so forth and so on, but nonetheless, that's exactly what she's been getting here. But, hold on. Yeah, look at that smile for that lady next to her. Oh, and she does have an Amazon list. Here's the other thing that I did find out. Oh, I hope I did put them in there. Oh, I think I did. You're going to love this. So as a content creator, which I can tell you right now, she is not a content creator. For the simple fact that if you go back through and look at all of her videos, she does not have 100,000 views in the past 30 days. So there is no way she is in a content creator program. Yes, that is not considered, cleaning is not considered content. Trust me, that's going to be one of my parts for my next live. What does make content? What is content? Content, according to TikTok, is original videos, original content created by that person to do make your own videos. Now, the one thing that I did see and take notice that with, and I thought I turned around and had zoomed this out so you could read it better. Gift baiting is what Sheena does. Gift baiting and what was the other one? There's another one right next to it. You know what? Let me turn off the comments so we can see what it says. I promise I will put the comments back on. Okay, I can't read it. But there you go. They have strict policies in reference to gifting. I support these policies. And I can tell you right now, Sheena doesn't. She doesn't follow them. Exploitive begging for gifts. My gift gallery. Fill out my gift. That's exploitive begging for gifts. That goes against their guidelines. Sorry, the chat's turned off because I wanted everybody to read this. Now, encouraging gifts legitimately can increase their gift revenue by focusing on engagement with your individuals in your live. Meaning, you mention names, you talk to them, you stay eye contact with them. And providing high quality content. When it comes to content, cleaning your house is not considered content. Legitimate methods to encourage gifts, it goes on. So what you're doing is literally, in my opinion, gift baiting people, asking for those specific ones instead of being happy with what you got and what you get. Because all you're going to do is turn that money right over and throw it right in your back pocket. When was the last time you ever decided to go into another person's live, such as your followers and your supporters, and send them gifts, Sheena? When? Let me turn the chat back on. My apologies. Sorry. I have not seen you gift one person outside your live at all. So that just tells me and leads me to one thing and one thing only. Yeah, you're a beggar of gifts. You're grifting. You really want those people to give you gifts. I'm appreciative to anyone that does gift to me. It is not necessary, and you all know I always turn my gifts over because I sure as hell don't want no 1099. But you know who's going to get a 1099, Sheena? You are. So when time comes and you need that tax money paid off, how are you going to pay it when you've already went through all that money? Are you going to save it? Have you been saving 30%? Because that's what TikTok suggests. You save 30% of what you make to pay your taxes. Just suggesting. And if you go into somebody else's live, she will block you if you're gifting them. So, why? Why do you feel the need to block other individuals because they feel the need that they want to support somebody else for once? Didn't realize that it was all about you. And let's talk about the subs that you're getting. Yeah, you have about approximately 52 subs at $2.69 a month. Now, TikTok takes its percentage. They always do and always have and always will. But, yeah, I mean, make that make sense. But she will continue to suck the living soul out of other people and their gifts. But trust me, she won't gift back at all. She doesn't even let other individuals up into a box in her life. I haven't seen it. I may be wrong, but I haven't seen it. Hey, you want to see something else that's cool? In the last 10 days, she has generated $1,028 in revenue in the last 10 days. Yeah. That's more than well, not really, but it's close. What I make in a week, and I bust my butt 45 to 50 hours a week. That's more than what generally the average person in the United States would make. She makes almost 20,000 more than somebody at a $22,000 a year job. Now, allegedly, she has to go pay for her ashes for her dog that's been sitting that she had cremated. So I certainly hope you had saved up some of that money that you turned around and got from your grifting and your gift baiting. Just saying. And here's the other thing, too. When reporting somebody, and I can tell you without a doubt in my mind that she is not in the content creator program. Uh, when you go to report them for frauds and scams for their gifts. Yeah, I know she won't get it until Wednesday, but here's the thing. You know, anybody that has a PayPal, to me, is suspicious for all the wrong reasons. Why do you need to have a PayPal in your bio when you don't need to have it in your bio to turn around and collect your money for your gifts? Oh, yeah, and her Amazon wish list. I saw that. I went through that Amazon wish list. And here's the thing. She can have it up there, and I did do the research on that. Content creators can have a pay method and an Amazon wish list in their bio, but she's not a content creator. I mean, unless you consider, yeah, we are talking about Sheena. And I'm being respectful. That's all I'm saying. I'm putting out facts and truth because I did my research. But here's the thing: in order to be a content creator, you got to be able to create original content. You know, the videos that I put out where I'm in the video, that's original content. When I make my characters like Jeff Ross or Eddie the engineer, that's all original content that I created myself. You know, you see these other ones that are doing satire and mimicking somebody else, but they're not saying that their names and who they are. That's technically original content because they created a character. And if Sheena's in here, she's more than welcome to come up into a box. And that's fine. They can record me. I have no problems. But the question is why do they feel the need to record me if I'm putting out nothing but facts and truth? I don't know how she can say that she doesn't have any money when she makes 40 grand. She's almost up to $41,000, folks, in 411 days. It's fa-fa. No, she's probably on a troll account, but that's okay. Two can play that game. She didn't want any help in the first place, so doesn't bother me. Good luck, Fei Fei. Yeah. Yeah, that's only her gifts. That's not her subs. So I have not gotten into any kind of police report or police information or anything like that, and I won't unless it's necessary and I need to do my research properly on that. You know, I've heard everything anywhere from to the fact that she owes money to security to or to the IRS, excuse me, to the IRS to, you know, a lot of people. Uh, you know, oh yeah, I know. And you know, they can get unis and all this other stuff, but when you're sitting there grifting for gifts and then you sit there and lie about a specific way that you got a gift and yet somebody has a video footage proving that you're lying, what does that tell you? Well, my understanding is she also is on Main Care Health. Dispatches on the wish list. I don't know if they are or not. Main care, but I'm going to do my research on that and get the answers that everyone deserves in reference to fraud and so forth. But I can tell you this right now, Sheena, if you're listening, and I'm sure you are, I would hope that you're not on any kind of government or state assistance, because if you do and I find out, I will make phone calls. You will lose them because I don't F around when it comes to that kind of stuff. So my suggestion would be to continue to go on your own direction and do what you want to do and grift for your gifts and beg and take from other people the gifts that, that are money. And, let's get into another point of perspective. When you go to gift somebody, your gift isn't even the full amount. That person that's gifting is actually losing money because TikTok takes a percentage of it. So what's the sense of gifting somebody? I mean, if you go live and you talk about making a certain product, a cleaning product, we'll say, okay, that's original content because you're describing on how you're making something and showing individuals how you're making it. And if within that factor you get gifts because what you're showing is helpful to others, then what do you do with those gifts? You can keep them. But with me, I'd turn around and gift them back. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. She could sit and say that she doesn't get AIDS, she doesn't get this, she doesn't get that. But the things that I noticed in her live, oh, and by the way, she was up until 2 a.m, pretty late, which is interesting because that just shows desperation. But the thing that I took notice with her is that she became very self-defensive when mentioned about taxes, when it became mentioned about lots of other things. And only people that get defensive are hiding something. And notice nobody's really getting blocked in this live because what we're putting out and what we're putting up is facts and truth. So I'm not going to block anybody unless you show disrespect to anyone in my chat. Then yes, you will get blocked. Henceforth the reason. You give respect, you get respect. You don't give it, you ain't getting it. So here endeth the lesson on that aspect. Oh, she does get help? Well, see, I don't know that because I don't have receipts. So if I get receipts and I vet them and go through them, then I'll put them up. Yes. Yes, I agree. Whoever said that in reference to gifts. Oh, well, then that's the fact that she sleeps until 3. That's her choice. And, it's her choice whether she wants to clean or not. I'm not going to sit and bust chops on somebody that does that. But I am going to turn around and call you out. It's plain and simple. I'm sorry. I mean, I call you out and I do it in a respectful manner. You don't like it? I'm sorry. Oh, she sends people money to gift her. So let's see. So she gets $40,000. Okay. She's still got to pay taxes on that, regardless of whether she gives individuals the money to gift her. So she's not really making out. She's actually behind the 8 ball. Well, I don't know whether she's smarter or not, but I can tell you this right now. I call it as it is. You're scamming and begging people. Hey, Southern Girl, welcome into live, everybody. Just tap the screen. That's all I ask. But you're basically begging for gifts. Oh, that was last year. Interesting. Okay. I look, do I consider her a content creator? Absolutely not. Do I think she's in a content creator program? Absolutely not. Yes, exactly, Tanya. I do agree. Karma will come around eventually. And when you're down the road and you're sitting there wondering and scurrying around how you're going to pay your taxes off of $41,000 so far, you let me know how that works out for you. Yeah. Yeah, I know. From my understanding, and see, that's manipulation, and you're not allowed to do that when it comes to getting gifts. You don't see me now. See, there's a fine line with that because you see that when people box battle, and then they don't. TikTok doesn't. But see, I think that's where the algorithm gets completely effed up. Oh, you didn't report that 41,000 to main care. That's interesting. Yeah, and that's all we can do is continuously keep reporting for frauds and scams, harassment and bullying, hateful behavior. If you're not going to treat your followers and your enablers with respect, then why even bother going? Why even bother going live? The biggest thing is for me when I go live, I am literally grateful that I'm allowed to go live and I'm allowed to interact and communicate with other individuals on this app for the right reasons. Oh, and by the way, yeah, and that's the other thing. I don't want to hear this story and this song and dance about how, sitting on here grifting for gifts and manipulating individuals into gifting you is your job. No, that is not a job. It doesn't have a retirement. It doesn't have an ending to it. Oh, I'm sure she did. I mean, you literally sit here and tell me that it's a job. Where's your 401k? Where's your retirement? Yeah, yeah. 401 beg is, yeah, there you go. That's a good way to put it. But that is what TikTok is not. TikTok is a side job. It is like the most part time job you could ever find. Now, yeah, there's no health insurance, no eye care, no dental. They have no programs. And even when you look it up, they even state that TikTok is not considered a job. It's an alternative to make additional money legally through TikTok. Oh, I know she's very diabolical. You can see it when she sits there and the wheels are turning. Yes, exactly. A job is an income you can count on and file your taxes. And facts are facts. Sheena Sweetser, who it is. And did you ever take notice? Um, I don't think Maggie got banned, but I think she's having some issues. And I'm not going to get into that. Whether they be medical or any other issues, I don't know. And I'm only showing that out of respect for each and every one of you, unless we have receipts to show. So, oh, oh. She could be. Maggie could be in hiding. But you know who wasn't in hiding this morning? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let's get into it. This is my apple pie time. This guy right here. Hold on. Let me get a better picture. I have a better picture. There we go. There we go. Yes, Detroit Nike was live this morning. He only needed $97. And get this, you're never going to believe this. This is the individual that I live streamed this morning, and it's probably the last time I'll live stream because I can't do it. It's just not. Yeah. He went into repetitious mode, his repeat mode. Repeat, repeat, repeat. He was asking for $97 to extend his stay at the wonderful, wonderful resort. Hold on. Oh, that's not the picture. Oh, I had a better picture. The wonderful, wonderful resort. There's a good one. Of an Airbnb, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry it bleeds into the chat. My apologies. Yes, that is an Airbnb with PVC conduit above his head, leading to a box, a control box on the side for the alarms. But don't worry, I got another picture. This Airbnb. Airbnb had wonderful decor on the door. That door's all banged up, nicked up. Yeah, he did get evicted out of his last place. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is your typical HUD housing. Yes, he is in HUD housing. Oh, and by the way, make note to the Cash App that's posted in there. That Cash App is not his legally. It's somebody else's. So take screenshots. My sweet suggestion would be to report it because, yes, I do have screenshots. That is considered money laundering, and that's actually illegal. You're not allowed to do that. Look, I sat through his live, and I didn't say a word. That was until I turned around and live streamed. And then he got upset because I was live streaming him, but yet he said that I was recording him, but yet I wasn't recording him. I only showed him at least twice in the camera view, which I didn't trust myself with that either, because allegedly they're starting to nanner people for that kind of stuff. But I live streamed exactly what he was saying. Somebody asked him, hold on. Here's a good picture of him. These are all videos and so forth that he's been live with. But that's the kitchen that he was sitting in. Now, if that's a kitchen of an Airbnb, well then, he's in the wrong Airbnb. Let's take a look at what an Airbnb really looks like. There you go. That's an Airbnb. Yeah. His favorite color is orange. That's an actual Airbnb. That's an actual living room. I mean, if you'd like, I could show you pictures of an actual Airbnb kitchen, but yeah. And you know, it was funny when he was live because he literally was showing stuff that let me see if I can get those pictures too. I got pictures sent to me by somebody that truly had an Airbnb. Yes, I think they are correct. Yes, there you go. This is an actual comment and suggestion and talk about somebody getting an Airbnb. Now, the names are redacted to protect their privacy. But this is somebody that was going for an Airbnb. Now, all Airbnbs do not require, and I find it interesting, they don't require credit cards to hold them. They do offer and ask for some form of pay app to hold on to and reserve your room. Now, I think that the credit card comes in with the reserving of the room, but don't quote me on that. Sorry if you can't see the chat. My apologies. But that's what a true comment looks like. Here's another one, too. This is an actual doorway to an Airbnb. That's what a true Airbnb front door looks like. Not like the one that I just shown you. Yeah. The Airbnbs are nice. But I can tell you this right now, where he was at, he literally was in Section 8 HUD housing. And that's a fact. I called him out on it. Somebody actually went into his live, into his chat, and started saying something, and he immediately changed the subject. Then he sat there and turned around and talked about that he was utilizing the back door. So then when somebody asked about you showing the front door, he basically told them off. So anybody that turned around and gifted and gave money to Detroit Nike, oh, you got scammed. You got smoked on. And you know what? I have no sorrow for you getting scanned by him. And yes, I did redact this picture because this is what he showed in the room. Now, there are other things. These are what are usually normally put up in HUD housing. Now, he showed one similar to this in the apartment that he was in, because that's what HUD housing does. They do post these in the apartments. Now, like I said, I had to redact some of it because it was stuff that is not appropriate for TikTok. But that's what I do. I redact. But you're going to sit there and tell me, here, that is what HUD housing looks like. Oh, gee, look at that. Look at that color of that door. Is that an Airbnb? No, it's not. It's HUD housing. It's his sister's, allegedly. And yes, I do think that it is his sister that he's staying with. Because if you remember the one time he went on that shopping spree, he decided he wanted to go shopping, and for Lemon Lulu's or something, and he turned around and he had a female in the background that was talking to him while he was shopping. You gave it away, Detroit. And then when he was in the kitchen and he turned around and addressed somebody stated that it was an apartment and it was HUD housing. He turned around and he basically said, okay, it's an apartment. Well, yeah, it's HUD housing apartment, Detroit. You're scamming people on here each and every single day. You know, the funny thing is, too, and you all probably didn't know the difference. And I'm going to drop a video with it all in. But that screenshot right there was from yesterday. Oh, he affords Lemon Lulu stuff because other people give him the money. Yes, he is. And look, I'm going to be honest with you. He pulls the racist card each and every single time he feels threatened and he's not going to get the money. He'll pull that racist card out. He won't speak facts and truth. He will not get trust me, he'll never get a job. Never. But what he will do is he will take other people's money, and he's not afraid to do it. He doesn't care. He doesn't care how to do it. Yeah, he pulled it today. And I wasn't going to have any of it. And I mean, if that's what you feel and that's what you think is what it's all about, that's good. You do you, boo, but that ain't me. So don't hold that candle up to me. Never hold that candle up to me. Because it don't work. You know what does work? Being honest and truthful to people that you sucker into giving money to you each and every single time. Now, if that was a Airbnb, you know, that's a pretty nice sofa. But, you know, I've seen... Hold on a second. Everybody. Why do you need to block everybody? Yeah, I know it does look like a Rent-A-Center couch. And, you know, that's something to investigate. Maybe Rent-A-Center does rent them. Maybe they have pictures of them. I'm just saying. But, you know, if you're going to block everybody, just stop your live then. What's the purpose? I know what the purpose is, but the purpose to him is block everybody, get new people in. And that's not the way it works. Yeah, I know. Well, Section 8 comes furnished when you're living with somebody like your sister. Timu, yeah, Timu has couches. And here's the thing, start connecting the dots. Read the room, read the chat. With him especially, because he don't care. He'll take your money. And you know, the funny thing is, he sat there after he got his money and got his payout. He was all giddy. Oh, I got my money. Oh, let me transfer it. Oh, why? And then, you know, he sat there and said that he had to be out by 9:30, and then he changed it to 10. Yeah. Yeah. And that's all he'll keep doing is he'll keep begging. He'll keep suckering people for their money. He rage baits. That is without a doubt what he does. He rage baits to get sympathy and money from other people. And until these individuals, especially his mods and his supporters, I saw some of his supporters, and I didn't get a chance to redact their pictures or their profiles. Some of the supporters are freaking moms of 3 kids. And I'm like, are you kidding me? But by God, his mods won't give him a dime. They won't support his funding and his habits. But they sure as heck turn around and sucker you into giving money. I'm like, really? Wow. And, you know, I've said this before, and my mod and I were talking about it earlier today. Times are getting tough. You really want to go down the path and get it even worse? It's only going to get worse. Money-wise, financial-wise, everything-wise. And yet you're going to sit here and give up your own hard-earned money. I'm sorry. That's on you. I have no sorrow for anyone. I am sorry. I don't. I don't. I no longer have sorrow for anybody that gives up their hard-earned money. Sorry. No, they don't care. You're right. They don't care. They beg on here every day. And if that doesn't show a sign, he even openly admitted in his live today that he would be right back on here tomorrow. Okay, well, good for you, Nike. I mean, he even turned around and said his first name today in the live. D'Angelo. Good for you. I'm proud of you that you're going to be able to beg from everybody else. How you doing, Nikki Six? But if that's what makes you happy to do it over on Bigo. See, he left Bigo. He is not on Bigo as much because he knows that he ain't getting the money and the financing over there. Yeah, even a dollar. A dollar. Da-la-la-la-la-la. I can see him doing that like Pinky used to do. But, you know, since when does TikTok become Big Talk? Oh, and big changes are on the horizon, too, just to let you all know. I did my research and went down the road of what's changing for TikTok. It's going to be interesting. I think a lot of people are going to be disappointed of what's going to happen. Allegedly, the update's going to occur anywhere the week of the 13th, so be prepared, which, memory serves me correct, I think that's coming up this week. Between this week and next week. Be prepared. Oh, yes. And that's, yeah, Mackenzie Bird 311. Report that Cash App. The more people that report that Cash App for laundering money, we'll see how fast he gets real happy and mad. Yeah, Saturday's the 13th. So it's going to happen eventually. Oh, and you know what, Mrs. Evers? I have also turned around and gave up understanding why people give up their money. But you know where I stand on it now? Go right ahead. I don't want to hear no whining and crying when you're broke. I really don't. Because it's the smart ones that don't give their money to keep their money that continue to keep going on. Now, here's the other catch, too. Let's not forget this. And we talked about it in an MLA Reds live. when you go to give somebody money through a Cash App, PayPal, or a Pay app, they have your information, your real name, who you are. Why would you want to give up? I mean, you might as well give them the keys to your house while you're at it. Yeah, yeah, you're right. You're right. That's a good saying. A fool and his money are soon parted. But now they have all your information. What do you think they're going to do? That's all I'm saying. What do you think they're going to do with that information? And that goes for any one of them on here, period. Yeah. And they're going to use it. I've seen it already. Sean's already doxed people. Maggie Foster's doxed numerous people. And for what? For what? The scare tactic? I mean, seriously. Oh, you're welcome anytime. No. Decline. I keep getting invites. But yeah, I know. I know there's methods that you can do, but why even trust that? That's why I wouldn't even do it anyways. I wouldn't trust anybody to have any of that kind of information. That's just like putting your info out there for everyone to see. So, but yeah, TikTok's going to be changing up here real soon. In fact, hold on. There you go. There you go. This is the updates. September 13th, 2025 is what they're working on. Sorry if it bleeds into the chat, but I figured I'd give you an update on what they're working on and how they're doing it. I think they're doing it right before our eyes. But if you need to read it, you can clear your display and then read it so you get a better idea. Look at that. They changed their platform statement and their mission statement from safe, trustworthy, and vibrant to safe, fun, and creative. Remember that, everybody. Creative content, not begging content for gifts. Okay? Remember that. This is the generalization of what they're going to do and how they're going to start changing it. You'll take notice to the live session. I got the rest of the screenshot here in a second. I'll put it up so you all get a better idea of what's going to go on and how it's going to go on. Do I think they're starting to do it now? Yes, they are changing TikTok. There's subtle changes. They're not as big as they are before, but they're changing it. Yeah. There you go. Here's the other part of it too. Well, and you know what? I'm not going to believe it until I see it too as well. I know one thing. I did do some reading in reference to TikTok and their community guidelines, and even other individuals that are out there have stated that TikTok does a poor choice of enforcing their own guidelines. And I was like, well, gee, it took you long enough to turn around and realize that. I'm like, we already knew that. So things are going to change, though. Do I hope that they change for the better so that people can actually create content for creative purposes, make it fun. Watch people. You'll see me eventually. I'll be sitting there singing and dancing around and looking like an idiot. But you know what? That's my choice. But that's what TikTok was supposed to be for, not sitting there begging and asking other people for money each and every single day, because it gets old. Like, Detroit Nike, every day. Maggie Foster, every day. I mean, when's it ever going to end? Henceforth, the reason why the new adventure begins. So if I see you live, trust me, I'm going to screen record you and I'm going to turn around and get the information I need to get that you're going to put out and just make people aware. That's all we can do. There's the beginning, if in case you missed it. So let's recap. Oh, I know you miss my honey. She don't love me no more. She left me. She left me. You got to be careful with that. And that's the other thing, too, I want to make mention. When it comes to making comments and suggestions, specific emojis and specific words or algorithm triggers. So if you go in, you see somebody's live or, their videos, all I do is like it, share it. Now, every so often I will turn around and make the occasional comment, but it's usually never bad. So, but yeah. I do agree about the emojis. I think that's going outside the guidelines of how they're controlling their platform. But, they're going to do what they're going to do. So, anybody want to come up into a box, you're more than welcome to come up into a box. I've gotten out the information I think everybody needs to know and is aware of. Let's recap real quick. Tristan Pizza scammed everybody for a freaking bus ticket, but yet I was there to offer him free help for a free Greyhound bus ticket. No, Chef is quiet, which is okay by me. Because that's got to obviously tell me that he's working his tail off, and I hope he is. Oh, yeah, see, you got to be very careful on the emojis. That's why sometimes I will use them, sometimes I won't. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Listen, question. With the supposed new guidelines going into effect, has anything been said about ways of reporting content that goes against their guidelines? Have they changed that at all, or is that still the same way?
It's still the same way as to now, but do I see them changing some of their issues with, you know, their content and how the guidelines work? Yes, I think they're in the works with that. Real quick, I wanted to answer one of the emojis that I would recommend not using is the puking emoji. That one will get you hit hard real quick. Sorry.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That'll get you caught real quick. That and the one with the smiley face and the little horns. Yep, that'll get you too. Oh yeah.
Wow.
So and here's how it is. The algorithm picks up specific colors, fonts, the way they turn around and may have it set up in their systems or in their databases. And when it comes around and it sees that in a comment, it will flag it. Yeah, see, you're right. So henceforth, the reason why at this point in time, you can say, and it's funny because you can sit there and say LMAO and that won't get flagged, but an emoji will.
Yeah, somebody I know got flagged for posting a photo, a joke photo, with a fraudulent phone number in it. Now, if you follow TV shows, movies, or whatever, then you know that anything like phone number wise starts with 555
Mm-hmm.
and then digits are made up. Well, she got flagged for posting something with 555 in it,
Mm-hmm.
yet I went and reported a actual address that somebody else posted for doxing information, and they told me there was no violation for that.
Right. Dang. That's
Did,
interesting. Oh, there is one thing, last picture I want to put up real quick because I did an account checkup. It's healthy to do, it's easy to do. It'll play back your videos, and you will get this kind of a picture or an ending when you turn around and check your account. When you turn around and check your account. And it doesn't hurt to do it. Trust me, it doesn't hurt to do it. Also, the other thing that I turned around and mentioned once before, make sure you at least have a singular screenshot of shot of your oh, but remember you log in for your original account and take a screenshot of it as proof. Hi Dawn, how you doing, dear? That way then you at least have some form and some way of remembrance who you were and what you did on this app. Screenshot your main page, the one that you have your videos on, screenshot that, and remember your logins. Because if the changes do happen, which we will see, it's up in the air, then at least that way, then you have a form of a receipt showing what your account was and who you were.
Oh, you just reminded me of something. It's starting to go around on TikTok that there is no M2 app, the new app that was supposed to be out, and that the US version is supposedly the same as this, but
Mm-hmm.
on their servers.
Yes, that's what they're working on right now. Is they're changing everything over to the American servers. Do I think it is? I don't think they want to really mess with with the concept of it too much, because the more you mess with things, the more that concept of too many cooks in the kitchen kind of thing.
And this is
I think the app is a workable app to get into the American version. I think suppression of information is going to be there.
Yeah, and that's a form of censorship, and that goes against the United States law.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think they should really turn around and allow people to speak the truth and facts. I mean, that's all I ever do. I mean, I'd love for a beggar and a scammer to speak up truth and facts.
Yeah, and see, the problem with TikTok is that it's not supposedly in danger with our information because what is it, like 20% Chinese owned or something like that. I
Right.
think honestly the higher ups, and I'm trying to keep this clean,
Yeah.
are afraid of information getting out there as quick, and now we are being exposed to more truthful information for the most part and how quick we're getting it. So
Right.
things are starting to come more and more and more into the open, and then the higher ups do not like that.
Right. And know, more that I've seen, and this is going to sound corny, but I've seen a lot of information coming out about that 3i atlas. And I'm surprised there's not more suppression on that. But that's truth. I mean, that's information that we deserve a right to know.
Right, exactly.
I mean, is it a danger to the, planet Earth? No, I don't know that, but some other people. Yeah, I know. I know. Yeah, you're right, MAGA. But yeah, look, the most that we could do is continue to keep bringing awareness to the beggars and scammers that are on this app. Because I'll be honest with you, I'm getting tired of seeing them. I mean, I'm really, really getting tired of seeing them.
I
It
don't know what frustrates me more, seeing them more and more after supposed changes TikTok is making, or the fact that when you go to report them, actually, let me correct that. When I go to report them, I can't speak for anybody else. It seems like I'm getting more and more no violations found, and I'm talking anywhere from the typical begging to somebody actually threatening somebody in their live, which I've seen happen,
yeah,
and stuff like that.
But you know, the one thing that I did take notice that I thought it was interesting, I actually went through all of my reports one day and I was going through, and the reason I was going through them was that I was deleting a lot of the old violations that came back negative. And it was interesting because once I did that, I made a report on somebody's video and it came back immediately as a violation to their guidelines, which I thought was interesting. So it must be true to clean out your reports, delete them, get rid of them, because if they're no good to report them, get rid of them. And and I think that cleans out the closet in a concept. What you'll do is you'll go into your activities and you'll see at the top of the screen, you know, TikTok Studio, report, things like that, update, and you'll tap on report, and then you'll see a band at the bottom where you can delete the reports. Well, and that's the thing, Louisiana, is because if you do report, you may have multiple reports that are stacked up that are causing. That's how I would look at it.
There's this one particular creator on here. I'm not going to say who or what. Satire, and I've been following them for a while. They have since stopped begging gifts and such,
Mm-hmm.
but what they're doing is they're doing it in a backdoor way. In other words, they'll say no gift, no this, no that. It's annoying me. But the thing is that I've when the satire is ended during a live and the anger is seeping in,
Mm-hmm.
and this female dogs. I'm trying to keep this clean.
Mm-hmm.
The R word, MFer, you name it. And it's like I go to report them, and every single time I do, no violation, no violation. And it's like, how can you not see a violation?
Well, that's a rage bait. They rage bait to get gifts. They rage bait to get money. A lot of the beggars and scammers are starting to do reverse psychology, and when it comes to that kind of stuff, I don't get into it, but I seen it. I've seen it. I look, Cass. I deleted my reports, and I went through and I saw somebody's video that was a violation of the community guidelines, and I reported it, and it came back as report found, a violation found. And that's the thing, is it just boggled me. You know, I mean, it may work, but see, the other thing is too is the algorithm is funny. It comes around, you know, east to west, west to east. It comes around at different times. It's like a traveling worm through their system. So whenever you go to report it, it may not show you have a violation, but somebody on the West Coast may get a violation. So that's all I'm saying. I myself am not going to turn around and yeah, it's called reverse psychology. I'm not going to give up on reporting. I will continue to do the right thing. So,
I kind of feel like that sooner or later, with the mass amount of people I've seen commented, and even in your chat right now, saying they always get a no violation whenever they report. I
mhm.
kind of feel like that eventually TikTok is going to crack down on that and saying if you make so much reports and they're found with no violation, then your account's going to be suspended for 3 days, or you're going to be potentially banned and such and such.
Right. Well, see, like right now, I've started noticing changes that they're doing now with the way and the layup for setting up people's lives. You know, the live, you know, when you start your live, it used to be at the top of the screen what your live was going to be called about and called. Now it's at the bottom. They've changed a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, and real quick, says, yeah, you can get a reporting ban. It's usually up to anywhere from 3 to 5 days. I haven't seen it any longer than that, but that's because you consistently and constantly reported for the wrong reasons.
And
And
see, and that falls back on TikTok.
yeah, yeah, it does. It does, because they're not supportive in their own community guidelines. They'll say they are, but they're not. Oh, sorry.
But it's just like with Facebook there for a while. A friend of mine reposted an official brand store photo. It was a cat hoodie, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And this store is well known. He just reposted it. They flagged her for fraudulent information.
Yeah, and the algorithm will do that. That's because it'll flag them for the wrong reasons. Oh, okay. Got you, Grandma. I've seen that too, Enchanted. I've seen where people will post a video, there's nothing wrong with it, and they get a violation. I've seen that too, Enchanted. I've seen where people will post a video, there's nothing wrong with it, and they get a violation.
Are some people on the inside of TikTok? Inside of TikTok. They would say, no problem. Give me 4 hours. I'll take it down for you.
I've unfortunately have heard the same thing. You're the first person that's actually mentioned that to me.
Yeah, I actually, before I found out how they really were, two people on here I have not spoken to because we had a huge falling out a few
Right.
years ago, but they were the ones who told me that. And no matter what they did, short of actually like threatening people, no matter
Mhm.
what they did, because they knew people on the inside, all they had to do was wait, I think, like 4 to 6 hours, and their account would be right back up. Their record would be clean.
Right. And if it's looping for anyone, I saw it all day today in individuals' lives. Honestly, I think it's the algorithm, or it could be their updates. They'll do internal updates, and people won't even know it, and it'll affect your live. It'll affect everything. Um, I mean, because as far as I'm concerned, all we're doing is just talking about TikTok now. Yeah, TikTok's glitching. Yes, there you go, Princess Peach. Thank you very much, dear. How you doing, Nana?
Is it possible that they have the actual words TikTok as keywords that flag lives that cause that?
You know what? It could be. But oh, and Missy Muffy, if they're reporting, I don't know what they're reporting for. We're not talking anything bad, negative. And if anybody's reporting, I don't know what for. I mean, unless they're afraid of the fact that I put out truth and facts, which is exactly what I did tonight. And I can put them back up all over again. Like the free bus tickets for Tristan that he didn't bother wanting that yet, but he sure as heck got his money.
Oh, that's what I wanted to ask you. Is that guy new to TikTok, or is it that he's just become more out in the open here lately? Because I saw quite a few lives the other day about him.
He's been on here for a hot minute. I wouldn't say that he's really new. Um, Hi, Nana B.
Okay, real quick, I have a question.
No,
Hello, how are you?
Yeah,
no,
I'm doing good.
no, drop
Question.
me.
I keep getting a violation when I go live. Why is that?
Well, I've never heard of that one.
Yeah, I keep getting a violation. Every time I go live, yeah, I get a violation.
What does it
Your
say normally?
your live is in violation of our community guidelines. And all I'm doing is gaming. That's all that I'm doing.
Gaming?
Copyright, maybe?
That's all that I do. That's all that I do.
I can tell you right now that's considered gambling. Oh, that or else it could be violent content.
Violent content.
Oh, yeah, you got to be careful when you turn around and do any kind of streaming or gaming on this app.
Okay, so I use
How
my
to fix
PC.
that or potentially fix that? They have a setting down in their settings where you can turn around and put to 18 and over, but you still got to be careful with that kind of stuff.
Okay, thanks. Like more friendly games. More friendly games.
Yeah.
I'll try that.
Yep.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, you're
Thank you.
welcome. Hi, Shannon. What are you eating, Shannon?
Well, I'm at work. I don't want to disturb your life with me working because I got bags in the background. So,
Oh, no, you're good. Thank you for dropping in.
okay. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Take care. Stay safe.
Thank you. I will. Thank you.
Hmm?
Thank you.
Hi, Shannon. Why'd you mute yourself, Shannon? What are you eating, Shannon? She disappeared. So,
Brother, I'm gonna mute myself. You can drop me. It's cool. Either one's cool.
mm.
I'll just mute myself.
Do you want me to drop you?
If you want to, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Uh huh.
Wait. Thank you.
No, you're
Yeah,
okay, Shannon.
gaming is tricky. Enchanted. I would also think possibly copyright due to character ownership by the company that puts it out.
Yeah, I'm going through some of their stuff on this, and they've changed a lot up in the. They've changed a lot up in the live.
United States version of TikTok, but
Mhm.
since now it's come to light that I don't think that app is going to be released. It's going what we're going to have is kind of like this TikTok right here, but just on the US servers.
I hope so, but I also in hopes that they turn around and really do some clamp control on their app, whether it be U.S. servers or not.
Yeah, I mean, I've said it before, I'll say it again, I'll always say it. Most of this problem is due to TikTok not following its own policies and enforcing its own guidelines.
Right. Hi, Vicky. Vicky joined by a mistake. I think that's what they want to try to do, but I don't think it's going to happen. Oh, sorry that it's lagging. I'm sure I'm getting reported, but for what? I have no idea. But that's why I said TikTok's ever changing every day.
TikTok is like Sybil at the Switch, if you get that reference.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that, Andrea. I agree with that. MAGA girls coming up. How you doing, dear?
Oh, fine. I can tell you from a political side that this app is very much, let's just say, liberal based versus conservative. We get
Right.
very much banned on a lot of things we say versus what they say.
I agree. I
Very much.
agree.
Somebody down there was saying they don't see politics, but there's definitely a political side to this app. Your FYP has just got to get there where you see it.
Hmm. I think a lot's changing. Do I hope that it changes for the better? Yeah, I do.
President Trump's not going to let it go. This app elected him because
Mm.
Barron Trump did a lot of his um, meeting with the big creators. He had a lot of different stuff going on here. So I don't believe that this app will go away, at least under his administration.
Well, see, that's part of the problem. A lot of people don't remember that he originally started trying to get rid of TikTok before his second term.
Right.
And
And
then,
then he embraced it after Barron decided to show him the big creators and how much power they had. So he then embraced it and started going under their podcast.
yeah, and then a lot of people don't realize or remember, and I'm not taking Republican or Democrat side here, but a lot of people don't remember that Biden just signed it into law.
Right. Well, we know that Biden had the auto pin, so we really don't know what exactly Biden ever did. And I'm not. That's not coming from because I'm a Trump supporter. That's a proven fact that the auto pen was around.
Do you think they're trying to suppress certain information?
Always on here, if it's conservative based, yes, I firmly believe that. I have plenty of friends on here who have been banned or not banned or bananas. Sometimes we'll just be talking, and all of a sudden the whole thing goes down. And we're talking facts, but I guess according to TikTok, they're not facts, even though they're
Yeah.
facts. But who knows? Like I said, that's what I'm saying. There's so many different sides to TikTok.
Well, and I find it interesting that they will turn around and suppress information, suppress opinions, but at the same time, then don't sit there and turn around and suppress or enforce the
That their own
consistent
guidelines,
begging. Did you
right?
know that there are more beggars and scammers in the United States than there is actually jobs? Did
What do
you
you?
also know that statistically, TikTok does not have an accurate number of how many beggars are on their app?
I believe that. I don't think we even know
No,
because
I don't, and I don't think TikTok does.
I was accused of being in a beggar's life I don't know, a couple weeks ago that I guess had been on here for 5 years. We were talking about MAGA stuff, and I didn't even know he was a beggar, and I got called out by by a creator on here saying I was in his live, and he'd never been on my FYP ever. I had
Yeah,
no idea he was a beggar. Didn't know
and
his history or anything.
Kitty Cat K, you're right. Some states are starting to really crack down on online panhandling.
That would be a good thing.
Well, they're starting to enact their own individual laws, I guess you could say, or
So how would they enforce that?
they'll start up their own divisions, their own departments of enforcement on social media.
So
I
then
mean,
they could what they
did
would.
you know that the state of Wyoming suppresses TikTok in that state?
I had heard that, or one. I knew there was one state that it was. Isn't there one state that's illegal or something?
Yep,
Wyoming.
yep. And
I
you know
think also
why?
Montana too, because Montana was the first one to
That's the one
put
I
a
was thinking.
social
Yeah,
limit.
Montana.
Yeah, and the reason that being is because uh, of the sensitive information that's within those states. I'll just put. But yeah, it's coming. It's changing. But that's why we all say times are getting tough. They're only going to get tougher. That's why you got to clamp down and start saving your money, keeping your money. When was the last time you saw a beggar and a scammer say, "Hey, I've got $500 saved up"? Isn't that great?
Never.
Never. Now, I can't say that because there was one individual that I pressed, may have, pushed him, but Wesley Wells, I will constantly, if he keeps doing what he's doing, he is going to make great headstrong movements with his job. So I give him credit where credit is due because he put his nose to the grindstone, got a good job. Now he's working his your feet to become more responsible for yourself and to be able to take hold of your feet to become more responsible. Yeah, Salvation Army is not going to help me. But yet, when I come into his live, when I when I come into his on bus tickets and he blocks me 3 times, well, that's got to tell you he only wants your money, and that's it. And I don't want to hear anybody sit there and turn around and tell me that resources aren't out there to help. They are, because trust me, a lot of people on this app are living proof that resources do help. So,
And
sorry.
see, that's what irritates me because with my situation, because my mom passed away last Sunday, right? And with my situation, I'm still in the house that her and I lived in, but I'm probably going to be kicked out within a year due to my brother-in-law who's on the deed to the house wanting to sell it. So rent where I'm at is anywhere from 1,300 to over $2,000 for a one bedroom. So that means I'm going to have to keep the job I have, which is almost 40 hours a week. Um, Actually, it will be starting next week. Then I'm going to have to get another second job just to keep a roof over my head for, and of course, food for the cat. I'm going to take care of him too.
Right.
Forget food for me, forget water. I've just got to keep a roof over my head and the cat's head. And yet these idiots come on here. Sorry if I get you in trouble with saying that. These people come on here clearly able to work in most case scenarios. They just don't want to work. And yet it's making it harder and harder for people like me and everybody in this chat to get an honest pay because of their laziness.
Yep. Did you know, were you aware? And if I have to, I can dig back. Do you know that 10% of homeless individuals in America utilize 90% of all resources? 10%.
Utilize 90%. Wow.
Mm-hmm. I can definitely go back through and get my screenshots to show that proof.
Hmm.
But
It does take almost at least a job and a half. You're living extra
yes.
money, you
Yep.
know.
Yep. And as
Yeah.
far as rich to hungry goes, anybody that gives that money to that person, let me say it a little more intelligently and kindly. They are not thinking smart. They a little more intelligently and kindly. They are not thinking smart. They smart. They are not money to my family, or would I give it to somebody that I have no idea who they are? Oh, I know. He does give off bad vibes.
That's what I don't understand. If when I my extra money goes to my grandkids all the time. I mean, they're spoiled, you know. I just
Right.
don't get that. Why you wouldn't give it to other members of your family too? I mean, there's nothing in the bank.
Yeah. And here's the other thing. If you really truly want American Red Cross, Salvation Army, SPCA, I mean, the list is endless.
Guardian has an awesome
I
organization you
support
can give to,
I support Wounded Warriors.
and that's just like the same kind of
Right.
organization that he supports.
Right. And the
Wounded
thing
Warrior. Is
at
that the
least
one where the
uh,
guy from who's the one that organized that one?
Gary
That's right.
Sinise is
Yeah.
one that has supported his programs. Yeah, give to your schools, especially now, because and you know what? I'm going to throw up a picture real quick, and I'll expand my box real
Are you
quick.
talking about the school lunches?
Yes,
School lunches?
yes.
It's different.
Interesting.
And high school is different than regular lunch because they can pretty much do the
That
a la
lady
carte stuff.
got terminated, and there's a video out on TikTok. That woman was sweet enough that she was helping her own kids in school, and she worked in the cafeteria. She was helping them out by giving them extra money, or money out of her own pockets, and giving extra food to the kids that didn't have any food at all. She asked the child once, "Why are you so hungry? Didn't you eat dinner last night?" And you know what the child said? "No,
No.
I had no supper."
A lot of schools are going to what they around here they have what they call back I don't know what it's actually called, but they make backpacks on the weekend and they stuff it with enough food for the kids to have for dinner for Monday through Friday, and the kid brings back the backpack on Friday, and they fill it back up for them for the next week again.
Right. And I thought that was deplorable, but look, I get it. Rules are rules, but sometimes, and she even paid that money back out of her own pocket, and yet they still terminated her and didn't care. But then, they sit there and turn around and say that we care about the kids, we want to take care of the kids. Oh, you do. So you think a cheese and bologna sandwich is adequate enough for a child that's growing in its infancies? I would go the extra mile. I'm sorry. That's just my opinion. And I would do the exact same thing she did.
And then you have people.
Understanding is that she's worked herself on. She did.
And then you have people.
Understanding is that she's worked herself on a.
Yes, somebody else was being reported as being her.
Yeah, and then a couple women on here, I believe they were on here, literally had to make social media posts with their photos stating
That
that
wasn't
was
the.
not me.
I
Uh,
know.
Same name,
Serena,
but
thank
it
you
was
for
not me.
donating to your local schools.
That's awesome.
See, that's what it's about right there. Somebody that has the heart, that has the integrity to go out and support local schools and support the kids. Look, I get it. They're not your kids, but they're kids alone, let alone. And they need the help. They're not going to get it from their home and they're too afraid to say anything. Go into your school office and just once, ask them how many kids are behind on their lunch
A
payment.
little bit, but two elementary schools in the same school system can be night and day. My kids were in a school, an elementary school, where they had to schedule everything during the day because they actually had transportation for parents to come in because so many parents didn't have cars. The whole school was on free lunch. So my kids were there, and that was regular school year. I switched them to year round school, and it was night and day. These parents who chose for their kids to go to that school couldn't get into going on a field trip. You had to have your name drawn. So you
Mm-hmm.
go from no participation to so much. It just amazes me that two schools within a mile of each other, but based on the parental involvement, was night and day.
I
And
heard I
and
heard
free
about
lunch.
Goodwill.
I mean, and per capita there, I think less than 5% of the kids were on free lunch.
Yeah, I've heard some scary things coming out of Goodwill that they've increased their prices
That's what I was
on
going to say.
incoming products. But I there's
Or their
down
CEO
the
makes the
huh?
CEO makes millions of dollars.
Huh?
CEO makes millions of dollars.
And tons of stuff that have been turned into the pink boxes. And what they'll do is they go through everything, gloves and all,
Oh.
so
You know what, Maga, you made me remember something. I don't know if things have changed or not because I am going back a few years. I was reading a legitimate article about organizations to donate to, ones to not donate to, and Susan G. Komen was one of the ones not to donate to, along with March of Dimes. And it
I've
all
heard that.
falls
I
back.
never heard about Susan G. Komen though. I always thought that was a legit because that one's such a big one on on breast cancer awareness time.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, now it could have changed, but it could have changed, but
It's like Girl Scout cookies. I mean, they charge so much for those, and those people only get like those people only get like
Catch it. Go catch us live. Other than that, that's it. I'm done. Stick a
All
fork in me.
right. Try to help me. If not, I know you're busy, but
No. Uh, thank you, Mama G. I appreciate you. Everybody stay safe. Have a good rest of the week. I go back to work tomorrow. Lucky me.
fun.
Oh, yeah. That's the adulting that comes out in me. So,
Yeah, I went back Friday after my mother's funeral, and I was there but not there, you know? It just
Mhm.
seemed like so much had changed when it really hadn't.
I know. I know. Other than that, that's it. I'm out of here. Stick a fork in me.